Are you in?
I'm gonna start. Wait, hold on. There we go. Hi guys. Hello. More D&D. Welcome back to D&D. We're doing it. Finally, we get to continue on with Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you are all having a good day, a good week so far. Um, yeah. So, what were we doing last time? Hold on. Sorry, I unplugged my headphones. What were we doing last time on the Curse of Strahd, Dungeons and Breakfast? Um, let me just do. Let me get my notes out really quick. I know we were talking to Victor, and then he was discussing the portal. I think, right?
He wanted us to try it out for him.
Right. Okay.
We
Let
were
me
like,
just.
yeah, no.
You guys don't want to jump in the beautiful, beautiful portal. That's
Mm.
definitely not dangerous whatsoever.
Oh, and then Thexor drafted him some other portal or teleportation circles that she had seen, and he
Oh
was
yeah, and
going
you
after
guys
them.
were
And that's why
were
we stopped.
talking over the book that neither of you could understand. Okay, let me just try and put everything together into my head because I'm trying to put it all back, and then we can do a recap, and then we start some D&D. Okay, actually, let's get some music. Let's get some appropriate music, some ambiance. It was still raining because Strahd wanted it to. Some rain sound effects up in here. I can't hear anything. Wait, did I? Okay, there we go. Some music. Where is my music? There we go. Okay, so last time on Dungeons and Breakfast, Curse of Strahd, after the attack on the town of Valaki by Strahd, the entire town was in pretty much complete disarray. Buildings that were previously on fire being put out by the rain, uh, dead bodies in the streets and alleyways from the attack from Strahd's minions throughout the town. Your group had taken refuge in the church, where a lot of the refugees decided to clamor to try and avoid the catastrophe that was befalling Valaki. After Strahd came by, gave you a warning of uh, you. As soon as you leave that church, I'm gonna be watching you. Pretty much, essentially, what he said. Um, your group decided that with the death of the burgomaster, um, that was a good opportunity to try and get some answers. Maybe find some answers to some secrets. There was a strange, when you were investigating his mansion before, there was a strange blue flash up in the attic. So your group decided to go head out to go investigate that, leaving Botak behind to help heal the remaining refugees that were gathering at the church. Making your way through a very distraught town to the burgomaster's mansion, your group explored it, went to the second floor, investigated his room, and found a secret trapdoor up to the attic of the mansion, wherein your group found a big room just cluttered with all sorts of furniture and a strange path that lead to a hidden door. After discovering that the door was, uh, it was a very, you had a very shocking revelation with the door. Crowley, I think, got absolutely toasted by the magical trap on the door. But after, yeah, after discovering that the door was trapped, you guys managed to get inside and discovered a room full of skeletal undead cats and strange children in the corner, just kind of staring at the corner. Investigating further, you discover that the children were just mannequins, and the undead cats were just cats, but also skeletons. And a strange man was hiding invisibly in the corner, which I think Crowley, bumped into. One of you guys bumped into him in the corner. And you met Victor Volakovich.
Well, that's really quick. I think we just saw him because passive perception on bards.
Oh, that too, yes. It was no coincidence that you bumped into him. You saw things. You saw a little. He couldn't keep quiet enough to avoid the bard's eyes and ears. Because
After I
that's how
tore their
ears
robe.
work. Yes, after you messed with the room, you guys discovered Victor Volakovich, the burgomaster's son. A strange man, kind of a recluse, who seems to have been in this attic for a while, studying magic that he is not, from what you could gather, not entirely familiar with. In fact, most of his stuff he's been talking about has mostly just been experiments and trying to glean what he can from a spell book that he does not understand. His most recent work being a teleportation portal that is going to help him escape Barovia. After hearing that he sent two of the servants of the house through the portal, and they have not returned, and God knows what happened to them. Crowley decked him in the face. Crowley gave him a big old punch, which he did not seem really fazed by. And then he tried to convince you guys to enter the portal yourselves, and that's where we left off. The rain still pattering on the windows. What makes up the very dim light in Barovia peering through the closed curtains of the outside of the attic. Victor is peering at both of you with this very excited expression, kind of just like, so, what do you think? Do you want to try out the portal? It could be your only escape from Barovia. Yes.
Or it could shred us into a thousand little pieces and spread us all over Barovia.
Well, there is no reward without the risk, so to speak. But I think I have it sound perfect. I think I've finally put all the symbols together. Yes. I've finally got it to... I corrected the mistakes last time. I'm pretty sure that whoever I sent in last time, I think it was the cook. Yes. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake, and several of his body parts were sent in different directions. So that was a mistake on my end, but I fixed it. Yes. What about you? Would you like to try it? He looks over to you, Gwyn. You look adorable.
What about you?
Well, the problem is, if I try it, and there is a mistake, well, I can't very well fix it. Then could I? So that's why I
Then
need
that
subjects.
would be... guys? Do you really want to do this?
No.
Then no.
Consider it, but consider it. If you do perish in the transportation, you would be furthering everyone else's escape from Barovia. You can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. But it would be important to further my research. I've tried the cats. They don't exactly... They're different. I need living subjects. Humanoid subjects. What about you? He turns to Irina, who is kind of just standing near the door, looking over this whole situation. She just... I do not think that is a wise idea. She kind of like nervously looks to the rest of you guys like, this guy is crazy.
I mean, you could send her if you want Strahd to tear you a new asshole.
And that's the one thing, and the other thing is, if we assume that the transportation is successful, we need somebody who can do the same thing on the other end again to get a signal back to us, because otherwise we will still not know if it was or not, because if your theory that Barovia is a severed plane is correct, that would mean that we would basically need a similar spell
Well,
to even get back here.
that is very true. You are right. I do have ways of tracing it through the astral plane, but you're right. I would not have a way of discovering whether or not it actually worked. Other than the fact, well, sometimes there's pieces left behind, and well, I can tell whether or not it didn't work entirely. But either way, it would be helping my cause further, yes. Perhaps maybe a demonstration is in order. I can try teleporting one of the cats, although nothing really seems to go wrong with them, and it doesn't exactly work as I would hope. But I can have one of the cats teleport and show you that it does indeed function.
Okay.
Perhaps that would alleviate some of your fears. Scruffles? And he looks over to one of the cats, and one of the skeletal cats makes like this echoing, kind of ethereal meow, just kind of this. And he looks at the cat. Could you do me a favor and go step on that circle, please? Students? And he turns to the 3 mannequin children in the corner. Watch closely. Now, make sure you're taking down notes. We're going to try and perform one more experiment. And he walks... I forgot the bush was there. That's right. There's just a bush over... There we go. Let's just move the bush out of the way.
No!
My secret bush! Tama's
Crowley, I
secret
would
bush
take
has
a
been
few steps
eaten.
back if I was you.
Okay, we've got a cat. Okay, we've got a cat over here. And it steps... You see the skeletal cat kind of move over to the area where this carpet has been removed, where there's a... the massive runic circle drawn out with various magic symbols. A transportation circle that seems legit. It looks like it's very well drawn. It's not like, it's not like a kid drew it and there's like janky, jagged lines everywhere. It looks finished to the layman's eye. And Victor kind of walks over to the portal, holds his hands up, and begins to recite an incantation in a language you're not quite familiar with. He begins saying, Theovagus, Silvana, and suddenly the portal glows this brilliant blue, this almost dazzling blue color. You see the lines and various markings light up and illuminate the entire room. You almost have to like shield your eyes from how bright this portal is. The cat just kind of stands there, kind of looking at him, with its, as much as you can tell, with its missing eyes and skeletal gaze, kind of just staring at him. Makes an ethereal echo.
Nyan.
Yeah, it goes nyan. Yeah, it suddenly turns into a cat girl and disappears. No, the cat does not seem to do anything. In fact, the portal glows, and after you like drop your arm and look at the portal, having adjusted to the bright light, you kind of notice that it's just glowing. And Victor looks at the portal, and he kind of gets this nervous glance about him. He's like, that is strange. It should be working. Let me try again. And he recites the words again, and again the portal flashes this brilliant color, and the cat just stands there. Nothing seems to be happening. That is, I'm sure I did the calculations correctly. And he takes the book and looks through it and begins thumbing through the pages. What if I... And he walks over towards the portal, takes a, what looks to be a charcoal pen, and finishes one of these lines that is connecting to what seems to be some sort of runic glyph, and kind of connects these two glyphs together. And there is a loud noise, this kind of almost like a mini explosion noise, and all of you are kind of pushed back a little. And in fact, Victor is knocked down onto his butt as he kind of falls over. The cat immediately yeets away. The cat just disappears. And and several pieces of furniture throughout the room are tossed. The notes on the table from the papers kind of go scattering in the air. Irina kind of steps back a little bit, and you see suddenly in this space where this portal was glowing, two figures suddenly appear in thin air, just almost as if a chunk of the air opened up and a very, very brief rift showed and immediately closed, dropping two figures in the air. What just happened? What was that? Yeah. Was that the sound of the cat eating away?
Tama is Daft Nyang.
The two figures appear in midair and like fall onto the floor. Arya and Leo, would you like to describe your characters as they suddenly appear randomly on this portal in midair, kind of in a very disheveled fashion, just appear in midair, fall on the ground? and try to pick themselves up.
Barovia, finally. Princess is first, my dear.
You actually did it this time?
I told you it would work eventually.
After months of this.
So,
Floor, getting back up again, falling on the floor. It's so undignified.
So standing before you are two figures. They are relatively pale. One is a little shorter than the other. The shorter one is dark haired. The taller one has long purple hair. Her eyes are a little bit glowing. There's something obviously foreign. They are both very magical. And are it kind of just standing together, looking quite impressed with themselves around the room, as if nothing odd has really happened at all.
Victor
Barovia,
kind of
yes?
gets up. You guys see in front of you a very thin man, very gaunt, disheveled hair, wearing nicer finery, kind of scrambled to his feet. It worked! And he looks over to the rest of you, to Crowley and Gwyn and Thurxora and Irina, like a miraculous thing happened. He's just, yes! Well, it works the wrong direction, but...
Don't get too excited, small man. I've been working on this for 15 years. This is not your achievement. This is mine. You merely open the way on this side. You do nothing without anyone on another side. You can't get out of Barovia. You knew that. Yes. In, but not out. Isn't that how this works?
Well, what are your names?
I go by Myth.
Princess Erica Varellon of the Varellon Kingdom. But
And
your
you
highness
hail
will suffice.
from the outside world, yes? Outside of Barovia.
Yes,
Of
outside.
course.
Been looking for my way here for a very long time.
I've done it! I've done it! I've connected Barovia to the outside world!
Myth just is completely ignoring him and turns to the other three and kind of nods her head and bows a little. As, you were brought into this world as well?
Yes, we were, and that makes me slightly curious why you wanted to go here, because I hate to break it to you, but this place is a shithole.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should introduce myself properly. And she stands in front of Erica, and she holds up a purple piece of amethyst crystal. It's exactly the same color as her hair, and she kind of sets it glowing a little and bows to the three of you. And she goes, "Amethyst. Although I go by Myth. I've been traveling. I'm a protector. When I was young, well, let's just say that the monsters from this land, they don't just pull people in. Sometimes they venture out."
As you say that, a skeletal cat of the several skeletal cats wandering the area, jumps up on a table and looks at you inquisitively, just hollow eyes, just...
She just reaches out.
Yeah, it does that. It goes...
Totally unfazed.
This is
Kind of
canon.
reaches out and pets its little skeleton.
His
head.
eyes flash like rainbow colors. The cat's skull just starts disco raving.
You actually touch that decrepit thing?
Of course, be nice to the animals. I know you're not exactly a very nice person, but if you could keep your mouth shut while I'm making friends, that would be helpful.
There's like an ethereal... an ethereal... yeah, just as you heard it. An ethereal purr, kind of, as you pet its spine. Order.
Anyway, as I was saying, after that, well, I lost a lot of people dear to me, and I made a vow that I would find the source of these ridiculous beings and, well, find a way to at the very least stop them from venturing out and causing more issues.
I didn't talk with you about this before, Arya, but any information you would have had about Barovia, any information you gleaned, you would have gotten from the Olmst Inquisition, which guards the secret of Barovia extremely carefully. And
Beautiful. That's
be
why it's taken
privy
her
to
about
this-
15
yeah,
years to
be
get this
privy
far.
to this information is extremely difficult, and would have taken a very long time to acquire.
Well, we can tell you where, or rather, who the source of this is, but I somehow have my doubts that you will be able to take anything against him.
Well, either way, I'm here, and my job is to protect people, so my healing, my flames are at your service.
Victor stands
Give
up
me
and
as a
he's
helpful hand.
thumbing through his this book that he has, this large spell book, and he turns one of these pages with these strange glyphs on it. What languages do you understand?
Not all that many, to be
Either
fair.
of you
Common,
guys.
Celestial, and Draconic.
Okay.
Well,
And what about you, Erica?
I'm trying to find it. I don't remember where it is. Oh, features and traits?
Main
On your
three,
main sheet page, very
bottom
bottom
left.
left corner.
Bottom left. Common, Elvish, and Minotaur.
Okay, no, none of you guys understand what language this is written in. He looks at you. Do you understand this book? He kind of just almost shoves it into your face, an uncomfortable distance.
She's more than happy to stare at it. She kind of shoves her nose even further into it. Familiar markings, but I can't say I can read it.
It just looks like scribbles to me.
Disappointing. Say, do you know how to go the other way? Out of Barovia.
I told you, did I not?
It's
In,
taken
but
us
not out.
This long to get in.
Yeah,
You
the
think
only
we
way I
figured out
managed
how
to
to
get
get out
in.
again?
Exactly. The only way we managed to get in the first place was by tapping on to the minuscule amount of power I found coming from your. And she kind of looks at the what may be left of the circle, and she says, "Your strange circle. We would need, I would assume, help from the outside to be able to leave again."
Yeah, you will note that is essentially as you were doing this, finishing this circle, it was kind of just a shot in the dark. You had no idea. Your only opportunity at this point was to just try a bunch of things, and somehow this one worked. And you have no idea exactly how it worked or why it worked, just that it did, and you've been trying for a very long
Just
time.
works, people.
It just worked. And
Just
he,
what?
Victor, it's disheartening. Well, at least I know it works one way. At least the circle is complete. It's set up as a receiver more than a sender. Huh. That is interesting. And he just kind of he sits down at one of the desks and begins to bury himself in another journal and begins to just scribble away furiously, writing some notes, you would assume.
Thuxora is going to mage hand the spell book over to herself and start reading through it, just skimming over the pages, not really looking for anything.
I will say make an Arcana check as you skim through this book. See if you can glean anything
I don't
from
actually care for the book, I just want to steal it from him.
it. Fair enough. Are you
that's
are
a
you
bit-
tr-
You're finally
are you
here.
trying to take this book without him noticing?
Well, I'm basically pretending to actually be doing something productive in it, so I can later on just
Okay,
walk out
okay,
with the
gotcha,
book
gotcha.
in my hand.
Okay, he
But,
just lets you. He seems totally absorbed in his journal at the moment, and he just ignores the fact that you are taking his prized spell book away from him. What was your Arcana roll?
11.
11. You kind of look through it, and not understanding the language, you can get that. Being versed in magic very slightly yourself, although most of your magic comes through your lyre itself. You do know a little bit just from what you've gleaned talking with various mages and things like that. You have no idea what is in this book. It is esoteric. There's random glyphs drawn. It seems to be random scribbles at times, as if somebody. It wasn't a thoroughly. It wasn't like it's not like a detailed, nice spell book that somebody went like, drew out the exact instructions to a spell. It's haphazardous writing and strange glyphs that are just kind of slapped in there with notes written on top of notes in this strange font that is erratic and doesn't seem the same in every single place it's written. It seems strange. You do note, however, as you're flipping through it, a certain symbol pops up. A symbol that you've seen a few times, and one that is relevant to the strange burnt book you found at the mansion of Fiona Wachter.
It's definitely Hallows.
The skull symbol that you've seen in a few places now, including on the hand of Celeste the Undying, and that book. But it's kind of just haphazardly put in there. You're not exactly sure what it means or why it's in there. It's just there. But that's pretty much all you can glean from the book.
Oh, if I may ask, what exactly is the state of this world? I've done many travelings, but of course it's hard to get here.
To give you a very brief summary, about a day east from here, there's a nice castle called Castle Ravenloft. Inside that castle, there is a vampire overlord dude ruling this realm and
Carly butts
basically
in really
murdering
quick. An
every
asshole.
person.
Is
Yeah,
he
murdering
handsome?
every person whose face he doesn't like. He has a little bit of a god complex, and well, he is a little bit weird, considering the reason he claimed why he brought us in here. But that's a topic for another day. Long story short, do not piss him off, he will come and murder you. Do not get Irina over here hurt, he will come and murder you.
Irina
Do not talk about the sun,
sheepishly
he will
waves
come and
at
murder you.
guys.
Hmm,
Hello and
interesting.
welcome to Barovia.
Amith's eyes kind of have this weird kind of glint to them again, and then she kind of smiles and she's like, I should be careful. I may not be overly welcome here. But I'll do my best to help you all if you'll allow us to tag along with your little group.
You are also from the outside world. How she looks frustrated at like the way to phrase it. How is it on the outside world? If you don't mind, I know it's a vague question, but I'm
This is
just
a very
curious.
strange question. Do you mean in general? Or... I'm afraid I don't quite understand the specifics of your question, my dear.
I'm sorry. It was an awkward question. I just ignore it. And she kind of like turns away and
Well, did you mean, like, is it safe out there? Is there chaos amok? Is there...
Do
Or
you
are you
see-
asking them what it's like to live there?
do you see the sun? People. Happy.
Yes. Not all worlds are like this, my dear. Some are, some are not. I've been to many places, but humanity, it generally ends up the same one way or another. There are times of peace, there are times of war. You must just do your best with what you're dealt.
I see. Well, you might not be entirely welcome here. And she like makes notes over. She kind of like makes a gesture to show off your eccentric looking. Your two, very kind of stick out with like a sore thumb characters. um, they don't take kindly to outsiders here. But you seem to know a lot about Barovia. Have you been studying this place from the outside?
Ah, I would say I've been trying to. It's not a lot is known about your world outside this place. Let me put it that way. And for those who do know, it is a very, very well guarded secret.
Really quick here, Waffles. How many actions would you reckon can I take within a minute?
Say again?
Within a minute of time, how many actions do I have, roughly?
If you go by battle, then 10.
Okay.
Because
In
one
a
turn
minute?
of battle
Oh
is
yeah,
6
yeah, yeah.
seconds.
In a minute you've got 10 actions essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Why?
the reason why I'm asking
Outside of
is
battle,
because-
it's very general. It doesn't follow the exact same.
Yeah. The reason why I'm asking is because I am tempted to use detect thoughts on our two newcomers here.
Okay, all right, you can.
Because
Yeah.
you're kind of a little sus.
To be fair, two random beings, looking very strange, just did appear out of nowhere after Strahd just attacked.
Well, I'm going to use my Gifts the Ripe Psionics then to activate Detect Thoughts. Waffles, do you have the full description of it, or do I have to give you a quick rundown?
Just give me a brief rundown, just to make sure.
Basically, Detect Thoughts will initially allow me to learn the surface thoughts of the creature that I'm targeting if it has intelligence higher than 3,
Okay.
which I assume both of them have. as they're capable
Do you
of.
guys have an intelligence higher than 3?
Thankfully, yes.
What's up,
And,
Doc?
basically, with each action, I can either switch to another creature or alternatively probe deeper. If I probe deeper, they have to do a wisdom saving throw. And they have the DC for that is 13.
Okay.
And if my probe is successful, I gain insight into the creature's reasonings, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind.
Okay.
As a reaction, can I use Awakened Mind to talk back and say, please don't?
I don't even know if you'll even notice, as this is used through Gifts the Ripe Psionics, which basically makes the cast undetectable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, using your, I think that's your racial ability, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a gift right thing.
So yeah,
Fair enough.
they can do it without you detecting it. You have no. Well, roll a wisdom save. You got to roll a wisdom save.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
does
first
that
I want to learn
work?
the initial thoughts.
Does that feat work even if they fail the saving throw or that racial ability?
The racial ability itself is not linked to any saving throws, to my knowledge.
What's the description on the ability?
On detect thoughts, the description is
No, not that one. The
on gives
your
Rap Psionics?
racial, yeah.
Where is it?
I can look. I mean, it really doesn't. Really, we can just play it by ear. But I kind of
Yeah, all it basically says is when you cast them with this trait, they don't require components, which means I don't have to actually cast them. I just do.
Okay, wait. What's the name of the trait?
Gives the Rap Psionics.
Mage hand.
It's literally the last.
Okay, so
sentence
it doesn't
when
require
casts-
components, but they can.
Yep.
Well, does detect
How-
thoughts?
how-
Are
how
they
do
able
you
to detect that you use detect thoughts? Hold on, let me read the spell real quick. Hold on. Detect.
Oh yeah, and I have
thoughts.
to ask: do you speak any languages?
Do you speak any languages, guys?
Common, Elvish, Minotaur.
yeah, because that's the other thing. It also doesn't work if the creature.
Either way,
entirely-
it says either way on detect thoughts, the target knows that you are probing into its mind, unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts. The creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check, contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends. So they will know.
Where is that?
That's at the end of the second paragraph in detect thoughts.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Why did they have to write this thing as such a novel?
Yeah, I know. Because it's detect thoughts, like anything to do with psionics. That's probably why they removed between 4th edition and 5th edition. They removed the scion character because psionics gets really weird. Psionics, when it comes to reading thoughts or entering dreams, everything gets really weird. So, but yeah, they'll know.
Here's the question now. Does that apply for both the surface thoughts and the probe, or just for the probe?
It says that they will know that you're probing into its mind.
Okay, so it only applies for the probe and not for the surface thoughts?
Creature as an action. If you probe deep, yeah. So the probe they'll
Okay.
know, but the surface thoughts they won't.
Okay.
So are you?
D&D rule books. I hate them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on Myth's surface thoughts,
Okay.
and I'm going to ask Erica. So, what led you here? Why did you join this endeavor to go to Barovia?
Okay. So detect thoughts will let you initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what is most on its mind at that moment. So whatever is your very beginning
what
thought.
I'm trying to see is if Erica now says, "Yeah, I'm here to save this realm," and Myth is like,
What is your character's most prevalent thought as soon as they are asked that question? Oh, wait, hold on. Do they have to make a saving throw?
Hang on. Do you want the answer after? When are you doing detect thoughts? Are you asking, waiting for Erica's answer, and then doing detect thoughts?
"Yeah, I basically want to use it to see what the reaction to the answer is." So
Okay, so yeah, Erica answer first.
Okay. I'm basically on the hunt for a certain item that I need for a certain objective.
You don't need to get any
Or-
deeper. She's just detecting surface thoughts right now. So
This is a conversation.
This is a conversation.
They're talking.
okay. Oh, I thought you were
Talking
describing
on
what you were thinking. Okay, sorry. My
No.
bad.
Yes, a certain item that apparently is in this realm. That is all I will divulge at this moment.
So if you now want myth surface thoughts,
Yep.
it's just, this place would be so much easier if I still had my wings.
That's what you get.
Okay. Now I'm going to use my action to shift my attention over completely to Erica.
Okay.
I mean that item must be very valuable, I guess.
You could say that, yes.
Thoughts,
It's
please.
very valuable to me, at least.
Leo, surface thoughts.
Oh,
And it's like pure surface thoughts, like what your character is immediately thinking, like, wow, this person looks stupid, or something like that.
basically that. Yeah, this person is not stupid. This person is
Asking a
trying
lot of
way
questions.
too much.
Yeah,
asking a lot of questions.
Okay.
Well, I'm asking because I'm thinking that maybe we can actually help each other. I mean, Myth, your intention seems to be clear. You want to take down Strahd. So do we. And once he's out of the way, I assume it will get a lot easier to actually look for things in this realm, as he will stop bothering us, which is a relatively big nuisance at the moment. So, I propose an alliance.
As I said, as
Yes.
long as you'll have me, my hands and my crystal are yours. I'm not much use up front, but from the back lines, I can be handy. And this one here has, well, some semblance of power. She kind of smirks at Erica.
Erica's kind of half paying attention and looking into her hand mirror again.
Gwyn's too busy rolling around with the skeletal cats.
I'm going to shift my attention over to Gwyn.
Do it.
All you hear is pussy, 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 pussy.
Oh,
I,
yeah, that's you shift your attention over, and that's all you hear.
Yes.
I think just for shits and giggles,
Yes.
I'm going to shift it over to Victor.
Oh, Victor. Okay. You shift it over to Victor, and it's literally an almost incomprehensible garble. Like, you struggle to actually understand what the surface thoughts are because there's so many happening at the same time. And then the if I put the computation here, then if I connect it there, then it'll find a but that will only work one way. And then if that doesn't, he's entirely involved in his notes and thinking about how the spell circle works and trying to get it to work now that he knows that it works one direction. And as you do this, since the spell only lasts a minute, it fades away.
Yeah.
So, apologies for our sudden interruption of whatever you were doing, but what were you doing, may I ask?
Well, Victor over here was attempting to convince us to test ride his teleportation circle, even though I don't think that's a good idea. Other than that, we just brought the news to him that his father got kind of torn apart, and that his mother went on a joyride through the wall of a burning house.
Erica kind of smirks while still looking at the mirror.
It's just kind of looking at him. He's like, "Oh, well, it doesn't seem to have bothered him much, your news, I can say.
Not
so,
really.
Well,
Actually, you said you're a healer, right?
indeed I am. You would, I suppose, know me as a divine soul sorcerer.
Interesting. Would you mind having a look at Crowley over here? He had a little run-in with a very shocking trap.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, you notice the bare-chested man with tattoos and hair that has been noticeably charred.
Can I tell how damaged he is, otherwise known as how much health is he missing?
Crowley,
He's
I'm
missing
assuming
like 25 HP or so.
he's not looking good. I know that.
If I was to give
So-
his health a number,
Yeah, if I was going to give you on a scale of 1
You
to
were going to
25.
average. How bad do you feel in a number between 1 and, I don't know, give me a maximum.
88?
Well, I mean, I can actually tell you. 13 out of 38.
13 out of 38. There you go.
I don't know. I can't math right now.
Okay, so
It's looking pretty
she-
beat up, like they just got shocked by a magical lightning trap, essentially.
She turns around and looks at Thuxor and Gwyn as well. Is anyone else damaged or just this one?
I'm fine.
These cats are awesome.
I could do with a hairbrush if you have one lying around somewhere.
Oh, be quiet to go back to your mirror.
Fine.
So she's gonna go up to Crowley and place her hand on him and cast Cure Wounds at level 3.
Nice.
Because I have terrible luck rolling. Where's my D8? There it is. So 4, 12, 16. You regain 19 health.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
So
Yeah.
yes, she lays her hands on you, and the glow starts to radiate and heals you up.
Your hair becomes noticeably less charred.
Gasps and apologies. Sometimes I can do more, but I believe the switching worlds may have taken something out of me. But hopefully that will help for now.
Oh, much obliged.
Of course.
Oh, and maybe you should take a look at his nose over there. I did kind of deck him for getting me shocked.
Victor is not. He's literally just staring at this journal, and he does have a bleeding nose. You can see the stains of blood from when Crowley socked him in the nose. But
Waffled,
he's...
I removed the stains with prestidigitation.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. To
On
basically
his
reflect,
clothes.
hey,
On
I'm
his
magic.
clothes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myth kind of looks over at him and just kind of waves her hand. He looks fine to me. I'm sure he'll walk it off or read it
Screw
off.
that guy. Screw that guy. I'm missing a little bit of something.
Indeed, my dear. Well, maybe we'll take care of that later.
I
Well,
love
this
the
one
idea of
is
just
not
Gwen in the
being
corner
trusted.
petting a cat. I'm missing a little something.
Summit.
Just like winks.
Myth kind of looks around and nods. Well, wherever you go, we are now with you. So
Just
if you have a
just so
plan,
we get the full picture. Erica, what are your skills other than looking fancy?
Well, I'm glad you noticed. But my powers descend from other places. Let's say other realms. Not realms. That's the wrong word. But you would probably call me a warlock.
And
If we're
Victor,
going to put a
after
label
hearing
onto
this,
it.
immediately turns to his left. Other realms? Where Where did you get your powers from, you said?
So were you just completely ignoring us
I'm
this
sorry,
entire time?
I get lost in my thoughts.
Selective hearing, this one.
You suck.
He selectively doesn't listen to you guys.
Well, I
My
guess.
powers were
Plasma.
bestowed upon me by a friend from another realm. That is about as far as I am willing to divulge at this moment.
Would you
Well-
both be willing to share your thoughts on transference of organic material between planes?
I
Perhaps?
don't think I've ever seen Erica share something in her life.
Quiet you. These
Well.
people seem
There's always a first time for everything.
slightly more interesting than the usual some people we come across.
Perhaps I can entice you, give you something worth your time. I have spell scrolls. Yes, I've acquired certain spells in
I have the cats.
my searching of my father's premises. He likes to keep secrets. And I have
Oh.
some stuff I could give you if you would just share your thoughts with me and share your notes, perhaps, on the transference of, well, yourselves, honestly.
Victor's been talking so much that Erica's gone back to the mirror, is not listening to a word he's saying.
Royals.
He kind of sits
Well,
there,
Now that you
stroking
two
his
introduced
chin, waiting for an
yourselves,
answer.
I think it is just polite that we introduce ourselves too.
Yes,
I
of
am
course.
Irina. I'm sorry. Welcome to our realm, I guess. Though it is not much. She walks over towards the window and kind of opens it up and slides open one of the curtains, and you look outside for the first time, Erica and Myth, and you see rain pattering the windows, a notable lack of sunlight, and a heavy plume of smoke coming from several of the buildings outside. Kind of this charred black fire smoke.
Oh, wonderful. Another dump.
There was a battle recently, I assume.
Yes, and what you call a dump is actually one of the better looking places in here.
Oh, by the great one.
Well, you've got yourself to look at. I'm sure that'll keep you happy. So,
Too true.
what is the plan here then? You were going to introduce yourselves. My apologies.
Hello, I'm Crowley. I like treasure and stabbing things. It's fun.
It's real.
It's the best introduction for a character. I like treasure and stabbing stuff.
It reminds me of Star Wars
Like
with the video games with simple plots.
Yes.
D&D characters in a nutshell. I like treasure and stabbing stuff.
This year's pole position. I'm a car.
I'm Gwen. Hi. How's it going?
Are you still
You seem
petting
rather
the
strong,
skeletal
my
cat?
dear. Frontline fighter?
I like to hit things bonk with hammer.
Ah, so and she looks between Gwen and Crowley. He's like, so it is the two of you I will mostly be trying to keep alive, I assume. Okay, good to know.
How about that?
Oh, an unlucky party, I assume.
We're short 2 members, so
Well, we are glad to be of assistance. Anything we can do.
and yeah. Last but not least, my name is Thuxeroxarcoxathx. I am a wandering bird, keeper of stories, and scholar in everything that is old enough to not annoy me with its talking anymore.
Lovely. We have some entertainment on the road.
Myth gets like visibly excited. A musician? You must serenade us one. Oh, how I love music. Oh, the stories of the traveling. Oh, and when you move around as much as I do.
You do
Really
note
lovely.
a beautifully
Right.
carved, very nice looking lyre on Thrixora's person. Like, that thing looks expensive.
By the way, when Erica said something or someone to entertain us, Thuxora just looked over to her, smirking, just thinking, "Yep, and this something is gonna be you."
So now that the introduction is out of the way and you're looking in much better shape, Crowley, what? I suppose what is the plan? We're kind of dropped in at the deep end here, you see, and I'm unsure how to proceed.
We have multiple things that we have on our list at the moment. First of all, as you can see, this town is kind of messed. As Strahd rolled in and had a party with his minions. And I fear that a good chunk of the townsfolk did not survive that party.
Neither did my bagpipes.
How... yeah, your bagpipes, I'm sorry. Gwen. We need to get you a new set of bagpipes at some point.
Yes.
I will say real quick, Mist and Erica, you guys, as far as Strahd himself is concerned, you guys know very, very little about him. Barovia is a strange place that is very, you basically barely know about Barovia at all as a place. You just know it's a place where creepy stuff comes from occasionally. And you know that the person in charge of Barovia is Strahd. As to, he's a vampire. But other than that, you guys know he's super bad guy. And that's pretty much it. You don't know anything about him, really.
You don't.
So, yeah. There is a few things on our list, actually. On one hand, we had a run-in with a few very interesting people a few days ago. That pointed us in a few different directions, actually. And to my understanding of the geography of this place, we're somewhat central in Barovia right now. To the east of this place, there is an old windmill that we technically own, but there's currently some people living in there that, the last time we ran into them, they tried to poison us.
You have squatters.
Hey, you had a delicious pie.
They
Yes,
gave,
I did.
they gave Crowley a pie that first made him
Poison
Go on.
/ have an amazing drug trip.
And-
What's the difference?
and then he started throwing up randomly.
Yes, randomly.
To the west of this place, there is a vineyard, I assume. The
That's
road
what you got
needs to be
from
the road
blue
needs to be
water.
cleared. There's no supply of alcohol coming to this town anymore, and we agreed to help the tavern owners with that, as Alcohol is pretty much the only thing that keeps the people going in here.
Well, in a place
Yes.
like this, I can understand that.
Drunken people are easier to control.
Yeah. Also to the east there is Strahd's Castle, even though I would highly advise against going there, as it is kind of suicide.
And my town as well.
Yeah.
Directly underneath Castle Ravenloft. I would not advise going there at the moment.
Yeah. And one more thing that we actually wanted to check out is the dollmaker Blinsky. Victor, what did you say? Where was he living again?
I'm sorry. What was the question? He kind of
Blinsky.
peers up
Where
from
is
his
he
notes.
from? Where is he living?
Who's Blinsky?
The doll maker.
Dollmaker. Oh, yes, the dollmaker. Right. Yes, he is actually not too far from here. Yes, he is. He is across the way. He owns a doll shop, though. Nobody really talks to him except for, well, really Ezek. And Ezek really likes his dolls.
And Isaac is dead.
Right,
Yeah,
yes,
we
you told me.
wanted to visit him
Most
as
unfortunate.
this Mr. Blinsky has the curious talent to create dolls that look exactly like Irina over here.
He kind of looks towards Irina. That's very peculiar. She looks back at him awkwardly, just kind of like, yes, quite.
I see. So the doll maker nearby, the alcohol supply, the windmill. If this doll maker is very close by, then that would seem like a logical next step. Then, I mean, I know we've only just met, but if you're looking for suggestions, a base of operations is always a good idea. And if you own a place that people are squatting in, then maybe that would be something to take care of sooner rather than later. At least then we'd have a place to fall back to in troubling times.
That is very true. So, what are you suggesting? Dollmaker, wine, and then the windmill?
I believe so, yes.
All right.
As long as I get to punch the old lady in the face, that's all I care about.
Ah, you have an interesting sense of fun. I feel like we'll get along quite well. And she turns to Victor. You mentioned something about spell scrolls. Yes, anything I may be able to use that you would be willing to part with? I may have
Yes.
a tip or two for you on what I did my end of the transportation circle, if you would
If you donate
part
some
with
of your
anything we could use.
time to me, at least a couple hours or so, then yes, I can provide you with something worth your time.
Well, what if the four of you take a trip to the doll maker while I stay here with our, and she kind of rolls her eyes, friend? I will share some of my information, pick up a few useful things, and meet you before we leave.
Can I bring a cat?
I would prefer it if you did not let the cats leave my presence. They will fall apart if they wander a certain distance from me, unfortunately.
Would you take my undergarments as trade?
Gwen, no!
I don't know what I would do with your undergarments. Are they a powerful spell component?
Yes, yes, they are. They would really greatly help your adventures. In yes, definitely. Do I have to roll persuasion?
Are they made from blight flax?
Yes, yes, definitely, yes.
Roll deception.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
17.
I rolled a natural 1 for his insight.
Gwyn slams him on the table.
Yes, I see. Hand them over, and you may take
Yes.
one. May I suggest
Yes.
Scruffles over there? He did not provide me with the necessary attributes that I required for the teleportation.
Excellent. Yes, great. Wonderful deal. Pleasure doing business with you. Thank you.
Turkora just looks over to Gwyn. Gwyn, wasn't that your last set of underwear?
He takes the
kind of looks
underwear,
up from
just
the mirror.
no holds barred, just grabs the underwear and crumples it up and puts it on the desk with a whole bunch of other like random knickknacks that you like an eyeball of some sort, some random hair that you have no idea, like a pile of sand that is not in any sort of container whatsoever and is kind of like spilled on the ground, and he kind of just puts it there. Sets it aside.
Excellent. Thank you.
Myth is like totally unfazed by the whole thing and just kind of reaches into her bag and just like pulls out a spare pair of underwear and like kind of measures from a distance and puts them back in and pulls out a different pair and just kind of like throws them over to Gwen. I always carry spares. You must always be prepared.
Awesome.
Well,
Intrigue.
you know, this is a little bit of a common theme. I also have a set of Gwyn's underwear with me at all times.
Yes.
What kind of adventuring
Don't worry
gift
about
is this?
Irina looks at you, Erica, and is like, "It is best not to ask."
Oh, very well.
Come on, Scruffs. Let's go.
Can you at least show us how to keep the thing put together for her, so we don't have to come back?
Ah, well, do you have a way of keeping the... Well, there's a certain spell I use, but unfortunately I don't think I could teach it to you. I might have something. And he suddenly goes over towards where you are, Thrixora, and kind of basically pushes you aside as he reaches towards
Turkora is going to
chest
step
in the corner.
outside, out of the way before you can do that.
Okay. He kind of just moves in your direction, opens up a chest where he had the spell book, and kind of begins rummaging through it. And eventually, after a little bit, produces a necklace, a pendant of some sort, with a bright green gem. And he brings it back over to you, Gwyn. Kind of approaches you, hands it out. This should stop it from falling apart, but make sure it does not reach more than 100 feet away from you at any time.
Okay. Gwyn plonks Scruff on top of her head. Stay.
You have acquired skeletal cat thing. Scruffles. Scruff the skeletal cat. Add that to your inventory. And a strange pendant. I will say, put that in your inventory.
Okay.
Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Now what? What are you guys doing?
If everyone is done here, would the four of you care to take a trip to the Dollmaker, and I'll stay here and share our information with this one? Just please don't forget to come and pick me up before you leave.
I'm actually also really interested in that information, Victor. You mentioned you had some spell scrolls.
Yes, though I'm not entirely sure what they do. I haven't tried them out myself. For you see, as soon as you use it, well, the spell scroll disappears. So,
That's what spell scrolls do, yes.
I'm not sure exactly.
Well,
We'd
why
have
don't
to
you like us to
figure
take
it
a look?
out.
Can we have a look through the scrolls?
You can. He's gonna go through a bunch of different spell scrolls. Let me. I will say, as you're looking through them, he presents you. He digs through a bunch of these scrolls and presents them to you. Roll an Arcana check to see which ones you recognize.
Both of us, or
23.
Sure, yeah. We can do two of you. 23,
Oh, look.
damn. Okay.
Yeah, I rolled an 18 and my Arcana's
Ooh.
+5.
Ooh.
I got a 20.
Say again. You got a 20.
Yep, 15 plus 5.
Okay, so you guys have a scroll of remove curse, is one of them. Yeah, you kind of go through it. This is actually, what languages do you speak through, Xora?
Common Gith Primordial.
Common Gith and Primordial.
Geth.
Gith.
Oh, Gith. Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty much we've determined is just German. And then you, Myth.
Common, Draconic, and Celestial.
Okay. He presents a bunch of scrolls to you, but they're written in a language you guys don't understand. It's different than the book. It is not the same language, but you guys
I have a
aren't
look as
exactly
well.
sure. You can present it to everybody else and see if they know. What languages do the rest of you guys know?
I know Minotaur and Elvish in common.
Draconic.
Yeah,
What about you, Crowley?
I think I just know common.
Okay.
Crowley knows Common and Thieves Can't.
So
I hope
one of
there's a
you,
magic Minotaur spell.
wait, Erica knows Elvish then, right?
Yes.
Okay, it is in Elvish. It is an ancient form of Elvish, and it's you have a tough time reading it as they present it to you. You don't actually like this was used a long time ago, and it is not instantly recognizable, and you kind of have to kind of make assumptions about what the exact language is. But combined with your recognition of the fact that it is Elvish and their Arcana checks, you do realize you have a scroll of remove curse, animate dead, and speak with dead. And
So,
he presents you
this,
with whichever one you want.
so looking at these ones, they seem to be in almost Elvish, maybe very old, and there seems to be speak with the dead, and was it reanimate?
Animate dead, speak with
Animate
the
dead.
dead, and remove
And
curse.
animate the dead, as well as a curse removal.
You do know that this is it's strange. It's a very old form of Elvish. Actually, roll history for me if you could, Leo.
Okie dokie. Oh. 15.
Okay, 15's good. You know it's an old form of Elvish, but it's a strange offshoot. Like some of the characters have been modified. It's kind of like, as an English speaker, you were reading Spanish. It's a lot of the words, a lot of the characters are the same, and you notice some similarities, but it's also very different. Like is like an offshoot of Elvish. It's very strange. You can kind of get what it is, but not extremely detailed.
I can't be 100% sure. It seems to be almost right, but almost. I can't say for certain, but it seems to be a curse removal, animating dead and speaking with the dead. But there's something odd about this. I don't trust it myself.
Strange. Well, spells with the dead. And she kind of backs off a little bit. I'm not overly comfortable with that sort of magic myself, but if either of you could make use of them, then it'd make them in handy in a world like this.
I think what probably be most handy here is remove curse.
Yes, I would be more inclined to trust that one.
You can read these. And he looks at, and Victor actually looks to you, Erica. You said, what was that? Animate dead. Yes. Speak with dead?
I cannot be completely certain, but it certainly looks
No, that's more than enough. Thank you.
like a form of Elvish.
Well, a deal is a deal. You can have either one you want, but thank you for providing me insight on the other ones.
Erica kind of looks at Myth, slightly concerned about.
Deadly typed in exclamation quote in my chat and got quote number 311. Do you know how much people buy used Dragonborn underwear?
Beautiful,
We just found one.
beautiful.
Wow. Wow, out of six, that was
Out of, like,
one out of like
700.
700
There's
quotes.
700 quotes now, yeah, that's the one it picked.
That's the one. That is uncanny. That is scary, Nightbot. Nightbot knows. Nightbot knows. It's so funny.
It's just kind of nod at Thuxora. Take whichever you wish.
I think remove curse is the logical choice here. So she goes for the remove curse scroll.
He kind of nods and then looks to Erica. Which one is that?
Erica.
He shows you the 3 scrolls. Do you point to the remove curse scroll or do you point to a different one? You can literally just say whichever one.
I point to the remove curse.
Okay. He puts the other 2 and kind of furls them up and puts them into a desk drawer and provides the last one. Well, shall we then?
Erica snatches it for a second just to double check it is the right one.
It is the right one, yes.
Okay, and then hands it to Thuxora.
Thank you.
You get the spell scroll.
Yes, you have a scroll of remove curse.
Inventory management.
Now I actually need to see.
Although I think, though Erica would have to be the one to read it since they're the only one who can read it.
I need to deal with my dog, but I'm gonna hop.
Okay, just next time
gonna-
we have a rest, just have the 2 of you sit down together and you can
Oh,
teach
yeah,
her
just
what it
there.
says like
Yeah.
lines.
What
And
were
then
you saying,
Thuxora will
Schmoodle?
have to remember her lines.
I got to deal with my dog, but I'm gonna hop onto my phone.
Okay.
So I'll be on there. If you need to move my icon, just go for it.
Okay.
Alright, be right back.
Okay, so you guys are gonna discuss the finer details of transportation magic.
Yeah, Myth is just gonna kind of. She's not trying to be deceptive in any way, but she's trying to give as little information as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Enough, essentially, for him to let them leave.
I will say, your character doesn't actually know.
No, she doesn't really know much of
teleport.
anything. She's just
Right.
kind of been drawing stuff and kind of trying to figure out from
Okay.
hopping through other people's teleporters.
So you're
get to
kind of
other
just gleaning.
worlds.
So you don't know
So
if they you couldn't just draw a
She can't
teleportation
actually
circle out of
do
your
it,
own.
but she's seen it enough to make people think she knows how it works.
Okay.
And between the two of her and Erica, they managed to pull it off between both sides
Yeah,
to get
roll
them in.
roll. I will say roll a deception check with advantage as you kind of are staying behind and trying to BS your way through.
Am I doing deception?
Deception, yes.
Thuxora, while that whole thing is going on, will just start making her way out, still grabbing onto the spell book.
You're just gonna take the spell book. Are you gonna try and hide it? I guess.
Oh no, she's trying to be as little suspicious as possible, basically putting the spell scroll on top of it and just covering it up a little bit with that, walking out of the door.
I will say
And,
since Victor is distracted, roll sleight of hand as you try and walk away hiding the book, or not presenting it in a way that he might notice.
Okay. 17.
Okay, yeah, he is distracted. He's busy having a conversation, and you yoink that book. You now have a mysterious spell book in your
Because I already had it in my inventory anyways from last session.
You're like, I was ready for this. I was gonna yeet that spell book whether you liked it or
so
not.
I took it first, and then we found him. So I brought it back out and was like, "Can you read this?" And he was like, "No, I can't." But I still did what was inside.
Irina is like behind you. Are you sure that's a good idea?
Thuxora is just going to walk out here in the attic and sit down on one of the couches and start reading it.
Okay. Are the rest of you guys following then?
Yes.
Gwyn is, yeah.
Okay. Erica's following.
Erica's
Gwyn is
reluctant to start with because she's not parted from Myth before, but looking at the muscle and the seemingly intelligent bard, she eventually follows with.
following. Okay.
Seemingly intelligent. What does that mean?
They don't know.
No,
Maybe
listen
they're just
here,
really good
Missy.
at BSing. Yeah.
I have a
Okay.
higher intelligence score than you, so shut up.
And obviously, Crowley is going to follow too.
So yeah, Crowley's gonna follow. You guys all follow, and your guys are gonna make your way over to Blinsky.
Blinsky.
Blinsky. I will use this opportunity to take a break real quick and go to the bathroom and everything we need to do, and we'll come back and you guys will go over to the Blinskys. So give me a little bit.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. All right, be right back, guys.
Gwyn, roll deception check.
Yes.
Do I want to know why there's a shitload of balloons in Waffle's room?
It was from his birthday.
He
stream.
doesn't clean, and yeah, it's from his
Yeah.
birthday. Which was, a couple of weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. At
Yeah,
least.
yeah. And they're still
Just
there.
wanted to say that was a while back.
Yeah, yep, they're still there.
And he has nuts. But I don't think Chad can actually see them.
Oh.
Because
Well,
they're...
they're probably in his shorts.
No!
No.
If you look at his cam, you will see that he has a...
Oh, yeah, but his
lot of
stream
peanuts.
camera's cut off a little bit,
Yep.
so you don't see that corner. Yeah. Poor chat can't get a good look at Waffles' nuts.
I can't believe that fucking quote. That's nuts.
Yeah, of all the quotes.
It's great.
It knows.
Oh, we're up to 668.
Oh god, if Nightbot's becoming self-aware, that's dangerous. Can we be heard
It's
on
over
his Be Right
Twitch.
Back screen?
Probably.
Okay. Then hello, dog lovers.
Yes, Waffles was having great fun drop kicking babies. the other
That's
night.
a great quote for 666.
Yeah, I know. Like, I didn't even realize until after I put it in that it was 666 when he was playing Dead Space on Friday, and I was like, too perfect. Too perfect. He has too much of a good time drop kicking babies.
Who doesn't?
I can't wait for December
True.
because I want to see Waffles play Callisto Protocol.
Oh, I know, that looks
Oh.
so good, and it's gonna
Yep.
scare him so shitless.
It,
Is there
it
this
has
season that too?
they basically took Dead Space and put it up to a whole other level. I mean, it has environmental kills,
Yeah.
but the player isn't the one
I'll
performing
show
them.
it off. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah, I saw. Yeah, at the end
Yeah.
of the thing, he just gets fucking shoved in the grinder.
Annihilated and chomped in half, and
Yeah, as it turns out, I actually know somebody who's working on it, and he's just like, yep. You think
nice.
Dead Space was scary? No.
Is it someone I know too?
I actually don't know if you know him.
Known from ND, right?
No.
I am back.
Waffles,
Welcome
we
back.
just debated that chat can't see your nuts.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've got a great view
Yeah,
of your
those.
nuts, but chat can't see them.
Oh, these
And chat still can't see them because you're on the BRB screen.
these nuts.
Peanuts.
Yes.
Waffles
Yes,
peanuts.
my delicious nuts. Yum yum.
Peanuts.
They're very good. They're very tasty.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and your camera is cut off in a way that chat was just not able to see them. So
My dog
Well,
has to
thank you for
know. He's
describing
doing that thing.
describing them for them.
He's
Hmm?
doing that thing where he's just wandering and sniffing the air because he's a little brat.
air.
The dog, your dog's just wandering and sniffing the air.
Yes. I'm
Yes,
walking him
look
around
like
to try
I'm
and get him to
busy, so
go.
they don't make me go
Yeah.
back. All right, let me bring up everything, all my notes. Okay. All right, give me a second as I get everything going, and we bring you over to the toy shop.
Toy store!
The toy store. Let's drag you over to the town of Valaki. What? What is written here? Burger Master? Who wrote? Blaze. I don't know what that says. Does that say Blinsky? Okay, that says Blinsky, and then this one says Burger Master. There you go. Okay, so yes, where the little X that somebody wrote is where Blinsky's is. So your group.
Oh, right, because Father Petrovich told us where to go for that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Botek is back with us.
Yeah, I haven't changed the party icon, but that's what we're gonna use for now. Hey, Votak, how's it going? I got tired of healing all the refugees. I'm hanging out again. Okay, so Myth stayed behind, and the rest of you kind of begin to move through the town. It's very still kind of a dour attitude. And Erica, you're seeing this for the first time. It is
Yes.
post Strahd attack, and you're kind of like looking around like you thought the place would be depressing. This is even more depressing than you thought it would be. It is just buildings are recovering from being on fire. There is bodies laying in several parts of the streets and alleyways. Guards are kind of scrambling about trying to deal with the situation, take the bodies away. It is post chaos here, and the rain isn't helping.
Are the guards still zombie-like, like just aimlessly doing
Yes,
things?
the guards. You actually make a perception check. Hey, Fire. Hey, thank you for the 28 months. Oh, thank you so much. And hi, dog lovers. How you do? I'm doing okay. We're
7.
we're having a good time. 7. As far as you can tell, they don't seem to be really excited about anything. They're kind of just moving the bodies around. They just seem to be doing it out of almost sheer instinct. But
It
you
would be kind of weird if they were excited that the city is burning. Hey,
I meant like
everybody,
excited as in like they're not like there's not like
Animated.
yeah, animated, like as in moving around a lot, like oh no, let's do. They're kind of just like dragging the bodies away, but you can't tell really much more than that. As you kind of hurry on your way, trying not to get wet and stepping over several corpses on your way.
I'd like to point out that if you draw a certain line through the pathways, it does look like there's a cock and balls. Just thought you should all know.
Oh no, please don't. Please no.
Sorry.
Oh, I see what you're talking about too, and I'm super sad that I do. I hate it.
Anyway.
Everybody look away. Don't look. You guys make your way through the along the shaft. No, you guys make your way over to Blinsky's. And as you approach it, you see it is there's a like a very cramped shop, kind of almost crammed in between two buildings on either side of it, with a like this dark, very dark colored entrance portico, and there's a wooden sign hanging above it. It's kind of shaped like a rocking horse, and written on it is a large, just a capital letter B, just, and the sign kind of shakes back and forth in very slight wind. This is where the where Father Petrovich pointed you to. It's not very spectacular looking. In fact, you can't see inside the windows or anything like that. You'd have to get closer. The windows are covered in like grime and dust, and are hard to see through from a decent far away. You'd have to like press your eyes against the window to look inside.
can't say I would buy a toy from this establishment. It looks rather icky. I don't suppose one of you would clean a window for me, would you?
Question is there any loose pieces of cloth on Erika's outfit?
Phew.
I mean, quite a few. It's quite a flowing gowny with the the wide sleeves that get wider as they go along.
Thuxora is going to mage hand one of her sleeves up to the window and clean it with it.
You do your best to clean it, and begin to like. Do you just like take a part of this? Do you just take a part of the
She
clothing?
basically just lifts up whatever loose piece of cloth there is on Erika's outfit and just scrubs the window with it a little bit using her mage hand.
Erika, out of nowhere, just one of the pieces of cloth from your outfit just begin to lift away and kind of pull itself from you and begin to move towards the window. And begins to scrub at it. Just...
Well, I
Oh
would.
yeah, that's the thing we should have warned you about. Be careful what you wish for in these lands. Things can get weird.
As you scrub the window, it does clean a bit of the grime, but it looks like a lot of it is also in the inside. So it's still kind of hard to see through, but you can kind of make out a bunch of items, toys, dolls, maybe, silhouetted behind this glass. But you'd have to get right up there to see it. Sorry, excuse me, to see it.
Is it possible to do like a perception check to look closer?
Yeah, if you get your eyes up there, roll a perception check. See what you can see inside.
16.
16. Okay. You peer in there. It is dark. Hold on. I shoved some nuts in my mouth right before I started. Hold on. Give me a second. No worries, Tama. It is dark. It is kind of dreary, almost very dusty. You see lines of wooden toys, dolls, kind of similar in style to the one that, well, the others have been carrying around. I don't. You said, Crowley, you were you have the dolls tied up and around your waist or something like that. You're just carrying around the dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. You notice that Crowley is carrying around a pair of strange dolls for some reason, and they look remarkably similar to that. You see all sorts of wooden toys, like different types of figures, little soldiers and things like that.
If I was to hazard a guess, those dolls you have on your person, Crowley, was it? I believe they may have come from this establishment, or at least from the maker.
Well, yeah, it says it on the dolls that they are from here, so...
You do also note, peering further, and kind of like still looking into this glass, you see a bunch of placards above most of the dolls and toys. Pretty much all of them seem to be labeled with the same thing. Is no fun, is no Blinsky. Almost all of them bear a tag or a plaque of some sort that has that label on them.
Is no fun, is no Blinsky. How strange.
Let's go inside.
Yes.
And Thuxara goes over to the door and sees if she can open it.
Okay.
Crowley's gonna look at the dolls and just be like, "You ready to go home, you creepy little shits?"
um, as you open up the door, immediately you're hit with the smell of the place, which just smells like this mildew and dust. Like this door has not been opened in a long time, or doesn't receive much traffic. You step inside what seems to be, it is a toy place, kind of creepy looking. As you begin to walk inside, the wood is old and kind of rotted and hanging from shelves and different, knobs on the wall is dolls, puppets, wooden figurines, all sort of just crowding, claustrophobically crowding this pretty small store.
Kind of like the doll shrine in Fatal Frame.
Kind of, yeah. There's a lot of dolls here. Just kind of, they are so clustered together. It is very claustrophobic, and they all seem to creepily be watching you. It is a strange sight. As you move farther in, you see sitting in the corner behind a desk is a heavy set, kind of rotund man with this large beard, wearing some sort of like moth-eaten jester's cap. Very colorful outfit, kind of like a frilly tuft around his neck. I think I could show you a picture. Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's show you guys a beautiful, beautiful picture of the man. Let's see if I can find it, though. Oh, that's not the picture. That's the NPC description. No, we don't want that. That would tell you literally everything about what I'm going to show you. Let's not do that. Play your handouts. That's what I'm looking for. Hey, Jorsky. How you doing? Good to see you. Perfect. And on this man's shoulder, you see a monkey. There's a monkey perched on his shoulder, wearing what looks to be a frilly ballerina tutu.
Well, that's not something you see every day.
The
Nope.
man, as you open the door and these chimes ring, you kind of hear some wind chimes go off as you open the door. And the man, sitting kind of bored, leaning his chin into his hand on the desk, begins to suddenly look over at you. Oh, the customers! Welcome! Hello, make yourself at home! And he kind of
Mr.
waves your group
Blinsky?
in. Yes, that is I. I am Mr. Blinsky. Welcome, friends, to the House of Blinsky, where happiness and smiles can be bought at bargain prices. Perhaps you know a little child in need of joy? A little toy for a girl or a boy?
Well, we're actually here because we have a few questions for you.
Oh, questions? Questions about my toys, about my wares?
Yes, about your toys indeed, specifically about your dolls.
Yes, I have many dolls. Perhaps you would like to consider purchasing one.
We're actually here because we want to find out a little more for one of your customers, Isaac.
Oh, you mean the large fellow with the scary arm?
Yeah, that
Yes.
one. Yeah, he's not doing good at the moment, and we are here because he told us a few interesting things about your dolls, and we wanted to figure out some more things. One of them, the dolls that you make. First of all, Thexar is gonna look around, and are the dolls in the shop also all looking like Arena?
You don't actually see any dolls that look similar to the Irina ones. There is all sorts of different dolls, in fact. There is a lot of different dolls. There's like, you see a whole bunch of strange. Looking a little closer, you notice none of these dolls are like normal Victorian looking dolls. Like, there's something off about them. One of them, as you look closer, you see one of the dolls is headless with a sack next to it carrying who knows what. You see a miniature like little playset gallows with a weighted like hanged man already set up.
Okay.
You see like a set of wooden nesting dolls, but as the dolls, they're all laid out in a row, and as the dolls get farther and farther down the line, the dolls become older and older until the innermost doll is like a mummified corpse and just kind of like very creepy looking.
So
My mom has a tattoo like that. It's like it's not Russian. It's Mexican, or I think Aztec or something. But it's
Creepy nesting doll tattoo.
yeah, it's like three different faces. It's young, kind of older, and then dead.
Oh,
It's
really?
really cool. Yeah,
Oh,
it's really
that's
cool
so
looking.
interesting.
um, well, Mr. Blinsky, the dolls you made for Isaac, were they custom made or because
Yes, they were custom made. He came in and asked me to make a very, very specific doll. One that looked like, well, kind of like you, actually. And he points to Irina, who gives him like a little nervous wave. Yes, in fact, a lot of features he described exactly like you. Yeah, the hair,
so
the skin. He said, beauty beyond comparison. Yes.
so you made it purely after his description?
Yes, he came to me with description. He said he saw a girl in his dreams, and I gave him the doll. He said otherwise he would threaten to close my store if I did not, so I had to listen to him, unfortunately.
Did he ever mention more details about said dreams?
He only gave me a description of girl. He never said what he saw in dreams, other than she was beautiful and she would um, she would be somebody that he sought out. Yes, I think he was looking for her in his dreams for some reason. Would you like to purchase a toy for a little girl or little boy? I have plenty. Look, this one is it is a a wind-up musical a device. Look at this, and he grabs Um, he actually just points towards one of the toys, and the monkey kind of like climbs down off of his shoulder, goes towards the toy, picks it up, grabs it, and brings it back to him. Hey, it is they call this a merry-go-round, and you see him begin to turn a little knob, and these. It's like a merry-go-round, like a classic one that you might think of when you think merry-go-round, except for instead of like
They're all made of
horses,
people named Mary.
it's all snarling wolves, chasing children around in circles. Kind of with their fangs just out snarling. Not like cute wolves. No, these are terrifying looking wolves chasing these small children. And it plays like this dark kind of dun 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 as he plays the music box, and it goes around in circles. Yes, a little child would love such a toy, would they not?
Erica's kind of mesmerized by, I mean, just the fact of a carousel existing. She's not seen anything like it.
Yeah,
But
it is
she's
surprising. It is very strange, very mechanical. You would not think that something this, and looking around, you do notice a lot of these devices are pretty advanced mechanically. Even the little, miniature wooden gallows has like a little lever that lets you hang the man, and it falls down, and the like a weighted pulley system for bringing it back up. It's very strangely well designed, if not the concept creepy as hell.
Would you call it too advanced for the place?
For what you've seen in Barovia so far, kind of, actually. Yeah. It actually looks pretty like you, even outside of Barovia, in the world you come from, you haven't actually seen anything this complicated. You've heard of gnomish societies having things similar to this, but it is definitely not common to most places.
These things are pretty damn intricate. Mr. Blinsky,
Yes.
did you come up with these mechanisms yourself, or have you
Eh,
built up something?
well, kind of, in a way. You see, I learned from the great inventor, Fritz von Weird. He is a great maker of toys, and I heard things about him, and he inspired me to open toy shop. And I thought my imaginations can come to life. I got a hold of some of his instructions for his creations, and I was inspired, you see.
Interesting. So, is this person still alive, or
His information is very old. I would doubt he's still alive. The rumor is that he existed thousands of moons ago. So I doubt he still exists unless he is like immortal or something. But you know,
Yeah.
it is hard to say. I have not met him, but I have discovered his writings, and he holds up kind of underneath this merry-go-round. He kind of holds it up and shows you the bottom, and it's got like a blueprint of making this very advanced merry-go-round that makes music, that has the little turning mechanism. It's very nice looking. It's very complicated too.
where
Erica
is our
kind of has
gnome
a-
when we need him? Interesting, interesting. Hmm.
Would you like to purchase? He kind of like shoves it towards you and gives you like this bright. The strange thing about it is you've seen a lot of fake smiles in this place. His smile seems very genuine, like he's just happy that anyone's in his store. He's just, would you like to purchase this for a small child somewhere that you might know? They would love this.
Well, where we're going, I don't think there's going to be any small children.
Oh, and you can hear him kind of like as he takes it back. You hear like a lot of the wind leave him, and almost his gesture cap seems to sync with the rest of him. He's kind of, oh, I see. You don't know any children, then, huh?
Yeah. However, Mr. Blinsky, I actually just had an idea for another inspiration for one of your toys.
Oh, and what is that?
Have you ever heard of the sun?
The thing that they all worship over at the church. Yeah, of course.
Well, it's it's hard to say they're worshipping it, considering that none of them ever has seen it. But we have.
They preach the Morning Lord. You've seen the Morning Lord?
We have seen the sun, yes.
Tell me, is it as pretty as it seems? Does it bring joy to the children?
It is even prettier than that. And every night people are looking forward to seeing it the next day.
That is amazing. I wish I could see. I could make so many toys.
Well, here we go again. It is Thurxora's illusion hour. Let me see, how do I finagle this?
You show him a picture of the sun.
Oh, not just a picture. Da, 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 da.
Oh no.
So, I am going to use my prestidigitation
Okay.
to do multiple things. First
Uh-huh.
of all, I'm going to create a little image of the sun hovering over the palm of Doxora's hand.
Okay.
Feel better, Tama.
Activation number 1.
Is Tama not doing good? What's up with Tama?
She's not feeling good. She's gonna hop out for today.
Oh, okay. Might have to let you
Not
guys carry. Oh, okay. Got a bad stomach? Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry, Tama. Yeah, get some rest.
I mean, we're so far in, we might as well also wrap it up soon then.
It is, yeah, I was just gonna wrap it up as soon as we got done with Mr. Blinsky himself.
Yeah, so let me quickly finish my prestidigitation. Effect number 1. A little image of the sun hovering over Thurxora's palm.
Okay.
Effect number 2. I'm going to create the sensory effect of sunlight on your skin, this warmth, basically.
Okay. Okay. And this is just like hovering like a mini ball of fire in your hand, essentially.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice and warming ball of fire.
Oh. And
Imagine
Blinsky
this.
seems tranced by it. He kind of just begins to stare at it.
Imagine this, but on the sky and a lot bigger.
It is beautiful. Surely it gives joy to the children. I
It
would
does.
love to make a toy based off of this. And he reaches out to go grab it. and he kind of, when he reaches out to grab it, it just goes like right through the illusion. Your son is not working correctly.
It is just an image that I create.
Oh, it is a beautiful image. Surely, would you like me to make you a toy based on the sun? I can do that.
That actually sounds like an interesting idea. I'm excited to see what you're coming up with.
Yes, Blinsky can do that. I can make you a toy. You give it to a small child and make them happy. For that is how we survive in these troubling times. I have seen the outside, and, well, we could use some more happiness.
Well, Mr. Blinsky, let's do it like this then. We actually have some business to take care of out of town, but we will be back in a few days, so when we're back here, we will check in with you again to see what you came up with.
I will make you the best toy you have ever seen. It will be a glorious son for the girls and the boys. Just leave it to Blinsky. Is there anything else Blinsky can help you with? Perhaps you would like to purchase this. And he reaches over and grabs a what seems to be a ventriloquist dummy that looks very remarkably like Strahd von Zarevich. Like, it has the slicked back hair, the kind of pale, gaunt
Yes.
face. The same kind of red and black outfit
I'll
that he
take it.
wears.
Just turn up to a fight like with
I'll
Strahd,
take
with
it.
the puppet.
Crowley
Between
absolutely wants it.
prestidigitation, thaumaturgy, and that puppet, we could create one hell of an illusion of Strahd giving images.
It's like to talk
All the
like its whole
grandstanding, but
jaw
it's all this
separates
little
from the
puppet.
rest of the doll. Like, just kind of like just opens and closes his mouth like the Canadian
Crowley-
characters in South Park.
Crowley is going to take the doll.
You like the doll, yes? He kind of shows it over to
Yes,
you.
there's a
Crowley.
lot of things I can imagine using this for.
This
Oh,
one
this
came
is
as
gonna be fun.
inspiration. I found there was a man walking by several weeks ago. He looked like he was on a very important mission, and I thought he looked very striking, so I make a doll of him.
Well, thank you.
Oh, really? Do you know what he did here, by any chance?
He stopped by store and looked at my wares. Said that they were all very unique, and that, well, he knew back in a long time ago, he knew Mr. Van Weerg. So we talked a little about it, but strangely, he never came back, even though he was impressed with my toys.
Yeah, we actually know that man, and he has been very busy as of late, so...
Yes, he introduced himself as Vasily von Holtz, I think was his name.
Yes, that is Vasily.
Yes. He was intimidating. But
He can be like that sometimes, but he is a little weird sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, but all in all,
did you know he said he was
not actually
been to Castle Ravenloft, the big castle where the Dark Lord lives? Yes.
Yeah.
He said there is a Von Weerg's greatest invention. Yeah, by a man made from clockwork, made from gears and parts. And somewhere in there. I would love to see it someday. It would be amazing
So would I.
to see Von Weir's
Does sound
masterpiece. But I am sorry, I did not mean to distract you all. The purchase for the Vasily von Holst doll would be 9 silver pieces.
Okay. Let's see. How much do I actually have? Inventory.
Oh
I
no,
never
Tom,
actually added money to my.
I have 8. Is that what that says?
8 gold.
Yes, 8.
That
8
means,
gold.
what did you say? 9 silver pieces?
Yeah.
That means you would have 7 gold, 1 silver left.
Yeah, it's 10 silver per gold.
Additionally, if you go into your inventory and you click onto your money, you should just be able to use the adjust coin function. Just enter 9 silver pieces and hit remove.
You now have a doll of Strahd von Zarovich, ventriloquist dummy.
I
Eric
have
is
so
still
many
kind-
plans.
Eric is still kind of transfixed with the carousel. But she doesn't seem to have money on her person.
Blinsky kind of
Could you
looks. Would you like to
try and-
purchase this for small child?
Could she try and roll deception and convince him that he's got? She knows of a very special child who would love the toy.
But you don't want to. You don't have enough money for it.
We never discussed.
Only 'cause I
money
never
with
figured it
you,
out
so
yet.
We don't know how. We don't know if we have any money coming in.
Thuxora leans over to Erika, whispering, "Well, once the sun toy becomes the big sales burner, I'm sure we can convince him to give you that one for free."
Very well.
Okay, so you're gonna try and
Not yet.
deceive him
No,
or
not yet.
come back.
No.
Okay,
The
gotcha.
goal is to see how the sun toy does, and if it does well, we can be like, "So we gave you the idea for this, and this is selling well, so."
Okay, I will wait until you come back, and then I will save this toy for you.
Thank you.
And he
Strange
turns over.
man.
Piccolo, if you could. And the monkey like runs down his arm, grabs the toy, and then runs back into like behind a doorway. I have trained him to fetch toys from hard to reach places. He is a very useful.
I bet he is.
I'm sure.
I will have to thank Rictavio for it.
Oh, really? You know Rictavio?
He came in here and offered me the monkey. He said to watch over it. I don't know why he gave me the monkey, but it is very smart.
Is this man some kind of zoological person? Some kind of beast tamer?
Rictavio is a wandering storyteller, so
Yes, he told me many stories about how he's been to the jungles, to strange places. He's encountered witches and wizards. Very interesting person. Hi, Ciendas. You want free cat toys? Free cat toys for your undead cat. Tom, get some rest. Oh, I'm so sad that Yes, make sure you get as much sleep. Get into a cool place. Drink. Make sure you're hydrated. Drink lots of water. Get into a cool place and all that stuff. Seriously, Tama. I don't want you getting any worse.
yep.
That's your health is the most important thing. Um, yeah, he just kind of describes all these different stories that Rictavio told him. He went to a swamp, he saw lots of the dead skeletons and things like that.
Erica kind of leans over to Luxora and whispers, "Are all people in this realm this talkative?"
Luxor is just like, most of them aren't. Some of them are, though.
Erica
And
looks
at
slightly
some
more
point-
relieved.
At some point, you'll actually enjoy that. The world will change to people just staring at you. By the way, Erica, the doll over there, and she points at a random doll on one of the shelves. Was it just me, or did that just move?
Blinsky
I
does
would not like
notice.
to find out.
Blinsky does notice the doll strapped to Crowley. That is an interesting. Where did you get that? It is very well done. He specifically talks about the
The little girl's doll?
Yeah, the doll you got from Mad Mary.
Well, a woman's daughter went missing, and this was her doll. So we were asking around to see if people had seen the little girl or could give us any information to help find her.
It looks very. Might I see it very quickly?
Of course. He'll just hand the doll.
Do you like untie it from its like tied up position? Or is
No.
it still bound?
It's still bound. I do not trust that damn thing.
Yeah. You have tied up the doll.
Yes, we suspect that there's something inhabiting it.
Inhabit?
Because, like, a haunting. Because for some reason, this thing likes to move on its own.
Move on its own, you say? He begins to like move the arms as much as he can with it wrapped up. Do you mind if I untie?
Go for it.
He begins to loosen the very well done knot, and it actually takes him some time to kind of try and get it unknotted. But eventually he does, and the rope is put aside, and he begins to examine the doll, move its arms up and down. He brings it to his ear, moves the arm up and down. Hey, that is very, very strange. I
In
do
what way?
not sense the mechanical parts like Von Weirg would make, but it is very much Von Weirg's style. In fact, do you see? And he just like straight up lifts the doll's dress, exposing this very strangely detailed like carving to the body on the back of this doll, which is wood but painted like skin color. There is the symbol, the VW, very intricately carved into it.
Volkswagen.
Yes, it is Volkswagen. He turns it to you. This is made by Von Weirg himself, which is very remarkable. There is not a lot of his things still existing. It is strange, though. It should not be able to move on its own.
Yeah, we've never fully confirmed that to be the case, but at the same time, there's many times where it's just kind of appeared in different places. And it's gotten out of my bag on its own when we weren't looking. It doesn't seem to want to move if it is moving when we're looking at it, so.
Well, I have never had one of my dolls move on their own, but I don't have any original pieces from Von Weerg himself, so I would not be surprised if he had very, very special doll. Would you maybe be willing to sell this to Blinsky?
Unfortunately, I can't. We need it to find the little girl.
Oh, it belongs to little girl. Then Blinsky will let you take. Make sure that the little girl finds it.
Definitely.
I think the children of Barovia need happiness more than anything.
That I can agree with.
Burgomaster is, he is a little strange. But I like his message. Happiness is important.
Well, about that, the Burgomaster is no more.
No more?
He died a few hours ago.
Oh, you mean the commotion outside? Blinsky hid beneath his counter. Luckily, Blinsky was okay. Still, nobody came into his shop, even during the commotion outside. But Blinsky is okay. It is sad to hear about the Burgomaster. He did not like my store very much, but I liked his message. He gave the kids things to do. They threw the flowers during the festivals. They would help out with all sorts of the festival activities. He gave them a reason to be happy. Though one cannot say the same about maybe the rest of the townsfolk. That is most unfortunate. And he takes his jester cap off and kind of puts it to his chest and dips his head a little, revealing his very bald head.
Well, thinking about it now, all the commotion that did happen outside, there was a great travesty that happened to this town. A lot of people just died. And I think you are probably going to be needed by a lot of the children that live here to help them get back on their feet.
Yes, Blinsky is always ready to help the children. I will try my best to make them happy. I have lots of things I can show them. And he reaches over and grabs this this mobile kind of that spins around in circles. It's he winds it up a second and it's these bats with flapping wings that just go around in circles. Like these, the children will find very captivating. It just kind of spins. Just bats kind of flapping.
Or maybe even something like this. Do you have a paper or pen or something, or pencil or whatever, writing utensil I could use?
Yes, I make the blueprints. And he reaches down underneath the table, and very accessible to him is a parchment and a charcoal pen. that he hands to you.
Crowley's gonna try to draw like a rough sketch of his ship.
Okay. Okay, roll roll a performance check just to see how well you draw this this pirate ship.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it needs to be perfect. He's just trying to give him a
Right,
not
just a
creepy
basic
idea.
concept, yeah. Just something that's not creepy for once.
Yeah. What was that? What can I say? 10.
Time Lord redeemed a slap. Thank you, Time Lord. 10. Okay. You draw a basic ship. Nothing really special on it. Do you have like a pirate symbol that you draw, like a skull and crossbones or something like that?
Yeah, he'll draw that,
Okay.
and maybe like waves of it going through the water, underneath.
Okay, you draw a skull and crossbones, kind of a wave, or not a skull and crossbones. Sorry, the wave going under kind of the ship, and it looks decent. It's not very, intricate or anything like that, but it serves the purpose well enough. And Blinsky takes it and looks at it. Yes, I have heard of these. They are boats. Blinsky thinks this is good idea. Children love to play in water. I can make good toy for water for them.
Yes, where I come from, children had toys like that they could use when they were doing a bath or whatever, going swimming in a pond. Just something to float along. And I think
Blinsky
it's
is
something they might like.
Thank you. You're all outsiders, yes?
Yeah.
It is
Indeed.
good to see you. I am glad to see somebody that is a friend of the children here in Barovia. Nobody ever comes in Blinsky's store anymore. But you have given me so much today. I would like to thank you. Here, take this. And he reaches down, and he grabs what seems to be a strange round coin. It doesn't really have much on it, but the intricate carving of the same thing that you saw in the back of the wooden doll, the VW. This is the symbol of the Von Weirk. I keep it for good luck. I would like you to have it. Maybe give it to a child someday and give them good luck.
Why, thank you. It's very kind of you.
You notice it's not like a gold coin or anything like that, or copper. It is a brass coin, very strange looking, very not like a typical currency or anything like that. So put in Von Weirg coin in your inventory.
Hey.
You're waiting for Waffles to finish his speaking and start nomming. Don't worry, I've got delicious nuts. Hold on. Thank you. Oh, and a squeak. I think we're gonna wrap it up there for today. Unless you guys have more questions for Blinsky. You guys all good?
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sorry, Arya, that you didn't participate.
Oh no, it's all
during the
good.
whole
It's all
Blinsky
good.
thing with the.
Always assume that if I offer to pull away from the group and stay back from something, it's because I am gonna like roll and smoke and wander off. You're already not paying attention anyway.
Fair enough.
Or like, yeah, it's
You're like,
always
yes.
totally fine. Don't worry about me.
Yes,
yeah.
break time.
Oh, although out of character, I will mention if Myth is ever away from the group and they are in danger, she would be alerted because of, I don't know if you remember what she is.
Okay.
Because of her
Yes.
race,
Got it.
she knows if people who are so yeah, just as a
Okay, so
heads up, if they're ever in danger and
I'll
she's
alert
part,
you
she
with
she get that feeling that they're in trouble.
beep beep Ariel alert danger
I'll
danger.
send my raven.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I reckon.
An
Send the
owl
raven
just
there.
flaps down.
Well,
Woo,
she's
woo!
a protector Asimar.
Right. Yeah.
So she gets like thoughts and like feelings like when the people who she's around are in trouble. So
Time
that's
Lord
the other
Raven
reason
this
I was
week.
like, it's fine. She can stay back and handle this weirdo. Like,
That's what Myth hears, just the squeaky.
yeah, just the
beep,
squeak.
Yeah. Blinsky raises this strange toy. I made it out of a strange dish that the Vistani know. It looks like one of their strange breakfast dishes. That was fun. Hey, so yeah, we got a whole party now. We got 5 players. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
By the way, I know it would have probably caused chaos, but I was so tempted when I pointed out to Erica that the doll moved. I was so tempted to just have her go closer and then slowly turn the doll's head towards her with mage hand.
You could have totally.
Feeling Thuxor is gonna have a great
it-
time messing with Erica.
Oh,
it took some willpower of Erica to not just hellish rebuke you after using her cloth.
Just explodes.
I mean, she had no way to tell that it was Thuxora.
True.
Until the
Yeah.
day she uses Mage Hand for real and she sees it and she's like, hey.
I don't actually think that Thuxora can use the mage hand without it being invisible.
I love that you guys met Blinsky. I was so hoping you guys were gonna go to Blinsky's. I was like, yes, amazing. You guys get to hang out with the creepy toy maker.
He's great.
That's why I love the Curse of Strahd campaign. There's so many crazy characters. Nobody in this entire campaign is normal. Everybody's just weird AF. And that's
Yeah,
what
it's so
makes it
perfect.
awesome.
I love it.
Irina is literally like the only normal person in this entire place.
I like coming in blind because I very much feel for Erica.
yeah.
Because she's completely
Leo's like,
blind
what
as well.
the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You just like
Well,
came in here.
Erica and
The two
Irina are
people
just
you
like looking at each other like, why are these others acting like this is normal? Like,
the 2 people you met were Victor, insane mage guy, and then Blinsky, the creepy
Has
toy.
a monkey in a tutu.
Yeah, who has a monkey in a tutu. I love that was the first 2 characters that you characters met. This can only go amazing places. I hope
yes,
Tama's
it's
okay
nice
though.
to be back.
Good.
Tama, if you're still listening, get some rest. I hope you're okay. But yeah, thank you guys. That was really fun.
Yes, it was.
I'm super glad to have Leo and Arya in here now, and it's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time continuing from here. Let's go raid. Let's raid Gentlemanly. Gentlemanly Gamer is playing more Doom Eternal. He's popped by the stream a few times, so yeah,
Right now,
he's
Battlefield.
he's playing some Doom Eternal. So ready to go give him some love. Thank you again, guys, and thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. I should be. Hopefully, we'll continue next Monday. We usually do D&D on Mondays, unless something else ends up happening. But Now we should have a little more flexibility. If someone does have to miss with 5 players, we can actually probably, if there's only one person gone, we could probably continue and just puppet the last person. So hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, hopefully we can be a little bit more regular with our D&D timing. Anyways, thank you everybody. Love all you guys. Go give Gentleman some love.
Jamming waffles.
Yeah, I had a blast. I had
Yeah.
fun. I always love playing D&D with you guys, so it's awesome for me. It's a really good start to my week, honestly. It's like makes my Monday amazing. Okay, give Gentleman some love. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Ah!